Good afternoon, everybody. Today we are located at AADI, located in Green Park, New Delhi. We are honored with the presence of esteemed director of AADI, Ms. Madhu Grover. We are here to gain insight about the working and functioning of this NGO. So, ma'am, we are here to gain insight about the AADI, and we would like to ask that can you briefly explain about AADI's approach to supporting the individuals with disability, be it as a physical or a mental one?
Yeah, sure. Thank you. We are a 45-year-old organization and we have been working in the field of disability since then. And I don't know how many of you know that we were first called the Spastic Society of Northern India, and our focus was only children with cerebral palsy. But after the 1995 Act and all the disability thing that we felt they have the same rights as other people, we changed our name to AADI, which means Action for Ability, Development and Inclusion. The name itself states what we believe in. So this name change happened, and we are now taking across disability. So for us, a person with disability is a disability requiring support. And if you want to know the approach, we have a rights-based approach. Earlier times it was a medical model where you wanted people to be just do everything that they makes them do the right things in the right way and they become normal. But the rights-based approach says that you have to believe in their abilities. So we are ability focused, rights focused, and we work on the limitations. So whatever our whole focus is that either we provide skills and development and therapy, education, whatever that child needs or an adult needs, and also work around the environment. You can't just work with the person and not make any accommodations or provide assistive devices, but the focus is as independent as they can be. Our also approach is more collaborative. We work with the parents because a person will meet us only for half an hour, but the whole day, what is the person going to do in his life? So it's a lifespan approach, which means if a child comes at the age of 2, he's once enrolled, is with us as he grows. As the needs keep changing, so our programs. So from education to employment to the old age, the whole assistive devices, the accommodations keep changing. And if they require digital help, that's what they are given. If some require special augmentative communication, they are given. So whatever helps them to perform the best and to be included in the society remains our focus.
Thank you. And you mentioned about the digital help. Can you please briefly explain about
the digital is that today everybody is using phones. So even our people with disability need to, and it's a big way of communication. Hearing impaired are using it for communication purpose because it becomes more universal. Lots of softwares are in the market. A visually impaired can use a Dragon or JAWS, and he's as equipped to deal with the computers as we are. So any accommodation which can help them be functional and independent, which could be adaptations in the toilet. So digitization plus the accommodations in the environment, that's how we move.
And you mentioned the AADI is running for such a long time. So you must have came across some problems and challenges in raising awareness and advocating the rights of people related to disability and their families also.
Yes, so that's the biggest challenge. Because see, when AADI began, there were no services available. So the whole approach was different. And then with the word of mouth and more people getting aware of the rights and the NGOs and the government and the laws coming. So things were there, but still people are not even aware today. So lot of, we can say we have done dharnas also, we have done awareness raising campaigns also, we have done midnight, candlelight walks also, fighting for the rights of people, and it's also at the individual level. So sometimes even parents don't know. So it's not masses, it's the parents also. So the first information giving begins there. What is your child? Otherwise they all think now we have a child and now nothing can happen. But to give them hope, to know their rights, to know what are the right to education or what is the 1995 Act and now 2016. Every information is given to the parent, whether it is entitlements, concession. So one is at that level that you tell the parent, get a UDID card made. It has become mandate. Aadhaar is important, birth certificate is important, which were missing links earlier. And of course, community is there. We have done campaigns, radio shows, Badhte Kadam campaigns with National Trust.
Ma'am, you also said that once a person became a part of AADI, they are like for a lifespan. So, and you also said that the programs and the activities keeps on changing as they grow. So, like what sort of activities and programs are being offered here at AADI?
See, if I go back to the history, we were a school here. We were running a special center, which was, we had about 50-60 children coming. But there also, when it became difficult, what happens to the 61 child? Then we opened a parent training program. Then we opened an adult training vocational program. But they were still not tailor-made for the child, what the person requires. Today, we are, because the inclusion is the thing we believe, and it's not now after the rights have come. We have always believed in inclusion even the way back in 1990s. When there was no law, but they were always good humans, so many schools had helped us. They were ready to take the children where a lot of curriculum changes were not required. So our children have gone to schools and colleges and are independent. But our services today we still have our walk-in, which means anybody can come at any time between the working days, and we provide individualized training and program. But everybody needs to be in a group. So if the school is the thing, we will help them into school admissions. After they go to the schools in regular, there are gaps in learning. So then we have after school coaching. That is, after they have done that, we have a inclusive coaching. We have school readiness programs, which means children who are not going and are still 6-7 years old or younger. We run a group for school preparedness. Children who have never been to school and now have come to the age of 8 and 9 and 10 when admissions are really tough, we do a life skill training program. Life skill is about literacy, numeracy, and some skills so that they can carry on. When adults come to us, it's about vocation, internships, training them into computer programs, getting a job for them, employability trainings, and also there is a lot of parent education program which continues. So we have parent education when there's a young child, then you tell them how to stimulate and work with him with an adult. As I said, yes, there are changing needs and adolescent needs are different. So you again need parent education before that. And now since last year, because we really believed in early intervention, and children were not coming to us very young. They always come with the word of mouth when they are about 2 or 3 so their crucial years of growing and the interventions were not being done. They were in hospitals. So we were very closely linked to AIIMS, and since last year we are now working in the AIIMS hospital with their high-risk unit and providing stimulation as young as 2-day-old children in the NICU unit. And once they are discharged from there, they are even 15 days, 1 month. So the program begins so early. And after 3, then they require more intensive programs of individualized therapy or education or speech and communication. So our programs, that's what I'm saying with the lifespan. And when they become even older, the same needs come up as any old age person. So they require then independent living, guardianship, parents are also older, then caregivers are required. So the needs, if you say, are very different when they are a few months and when they are 60-year-old. So when I say lifespan, a child coming to us at 2, registered is there till he is alive. And we also do home visits. That's mandatory for us.
Have you mentioned about home visits, like how often home visits and how it's all functioning, home visits?
Home visits are done when it is really required. Not every child requires a home visit. But if we need to make an adaptations, not only homes, we visit schools also, we visit wherever our people are employed, because you need to make the environmental changes, access issues are there, they may need support in toilet. So home visits are done when they are needing adaptation or some crisis has happened in the home. So it can be, maybe 3 times a year or maybe only once a year. So the mandate is that you have to know the home situation, then only you can make up. Because sometimes sitting here you give a very, program which is ideal. Do this, do that, do that. But they're living in a one-room house because we don't have very high income groups coming to us. They're usually financial needs and they may require financial support for medicine, support for sponsorships, support for school tuitions. That only we'll come to know if we make a home visit. So that's why it's important to see what exactly is the family requirement and the child, so that he is well included.
Also, ma'am, how does AADI work with the families of individuals who are into the disability for the continuous support and the growth? Like, how you communicate with the families? Are the families very supportive to the kids, or they are not supportive? They are taking disability as a taboo in the society.
Initially, yes, few years ago, when I say that people were very less aware, it used to happen, they really, but once we, understood that, parent empowerment is the way forward. Supporting doesn't mean just handhold and do everything for them. When you want them, it's like you can give a fish, then also your hunger is satiated, or you teach how to fish. So once you have taught how to fish, then they know what to do. So it is that blend between and a balance between how much support and how much empowerment. If school issues are coming, earlier we may run to the school and say, how can you do? Today say, you ask for it. It's your right. Ask them why aren't they giving a writer. Ask them why aren't they making toilet more accessible. And it's also, a lot has changed outside also. Today there are special educators in schools there, but yet you need to link and tell the parent what they need to do. And that support, yes, there may be a stigma still attached. Parents से में शर्म आती है ले जाने में कहीं, सब इसको देखते हैं. So one is to say कि हाँ समझ में आता है, you validate their feeling and keep quiet, or you say it's your child. देखते हैं तो उनकी प्रॉब्लम है, और जब वो बच्चा बोल सकता है, आपसे पूछते हैं इसको क्या है, तो ये आपको बोलना, आप इससे पूछिए. सो उसकी एबिलिटी लोगों को नहीं मालूम है, वो उसकी सिर्फ जो डिफ़िकल्टीज़ हैं देखते हैं, एंड देन दे आर स्पीकिंग टू यू एंड यू आर स्पीकिंग इन बिहाफ ऑफ द चाइल्ड. सो यू फर्स्ट बिलीव ही हैज़ द राइट and give them that control and dignity, because that's one thing we teach our parents. The child needs a purpose, he needs dignity and control over his life, which means very early in life start giving choices. You can choose what he wears, or you can say लाल वाला पहनोगे या पीला वाला पहनोगे, but choices begin there. You don't become leaders overnight. So once the child knows that I have to do, so parent education is for any behavior difficulties, any of these issues, you start that early.
So let them.
Do I answer your question?
Yeah. So let them be the decision makers of their life.
Parents have to be, but informed decision makers. Sometimes you say something, parents may not accept. It's not that, but then it's. Instead of saying parents are difficult, in AADI we have learned to challenge ourselves. Am I doing the needful? Maybe somewhere I haven't connected to the parents' need. Because parents are talking from their experience. They cannot be wrong. It's very easy to say, वो सुनते नहीं हैं, वो करते नहीं हैं, हम तो बता के थक गए. But it's time to reflect and see, do I need to change? Do I need to change my methodology? That I can then get across what I'm trying to say. So you don't give up, because that is the way forward, is when your parents are with you, fight their own battles. You are there to provide every knowledge and support. We still go with them. They still will say UDID में बहुत मुश्किल आ रहा, दीदी हमारे साथ चलो, वो अपॉइंटमेंट ले दो. हम कहते हैं एक बार खुद जाओ, बहुत Tell them everything. कहाँ जाना है, कौन से काउंटर में जाना है. Inform them. So you don't say आप चले जाइए हॉस्पिटल देख लीजिए. So sometimes we do visit the places before we give them information to say इस काउंटर पे इसका है, now go. We also fill all online forms sometimes when they don't have computer access here, whether it is for school admissions, whether it is UDID or getting any certification. We provide that support.
Okay, so ma'am, these were the questions that we really need to ask, and it was like a very gameful conversation that I ever had. So thank you for being here. Thank you for giving us so much.
Thank you for giving us this opportunity.